the peoples of Battlefields watching the YouTube's channels of Shodredux. Of course, I'm going to go over the MP7s. But before I go into the MP7 video, I'm actually going to be giving a couple shoutouts, and these ones are actually totally random until I get more people asking for shoutouts. At least for the second edition commentaries that I'm doing. First one goes out to Snack Productions HD. And the next shout out goes to Jeffaniel Hardy. Because I also know that you guys have asked for shout outs before in some prior videos, and I figured I would just give you guys a shout out now. And you were my random picks. Okie dokie, with that being said, let's move on to the MP7. Essentially, the MP7 is a German submachine gun manufactured by Heckler & Koch in 2001. And it is a weapon that's still currently used in present day. The MP7 has only occurred in 2 other Battlefield games outside of Play4Free. The first one being Battlefield 2, and it's also in Battlefield 3. The total amount of ammunition you get with the MP7 is 96, and that's 24 bullets per magazine, which makes this base weapon hover right around the average amount of ammo for your submachine gun class weapons. The MP7's reload time is right around 3 seconds, which is a little faster than average for most of your submachine gun class weapons. The total amount of damage the MP7 seems to do at closer ranges stays between the mid-20s. At medium ranges, it seems to stay around the low 20s in damage, and at longer ranges, it stays around 8 to 12 damage. Of course, if you're going for headshots, the MP7 can take 2 shots to the head from close range to kill an enemy. At medium ranges, it'll take 3 shots to the head to kill your enemy. And at longer ranges, it'll take anywhere from 4 to 7 shots to the head to totally do your enemy in. Out of all the SMGs available for your engineer class, the MP7 does have statistically the worst recoil throughout all of them. The MP7 does seem to have average bullet deviation in comparison to the other SMGs available for the engineer class also. However, the MP7 does have a higher than average close range effective distance of around 23 meters. One of the frustrating things you'll run into with the MP7 is that it's not meant for medium to long range combat situations, so you will feel yourself outgunned and outdamaged in those types of combat scenarios. Of course, the more you close in on the distance of your enemy, the better chance you have getting the upper hand in gunfire and damage, especially against those with medium range assault rifles, sniper rifles, and LMGs. The reasons for the MP7 not being ideal for medium range fire is due to the major difference of combat damage in the medium range distance, being considerably less than your standard assault rifle and LMG. So getting into a firefight with an assault or medic class is not ideal for those medium range situations. The reason for the MP7 not being ideal for long range engagements is due to the extreme lack of damage, bullet deviation, and high recoil. So it would be best to spot out the sniper in hopes of one of your teammates picking him off versus you trying to take controlled pop shots, putting you in a little to no chance of survival situation. To get the best potential out of the base MP7, the maps you should play on are Sharky and Myanmar. Also, Basra and Mashtar have certain areas that are great for the MP7 as well. When up against someone using a shotgun, medium range fire is permissible, but try to get them as close as possible to the 23 meter mark to get the best damage at close range on them while still keeping your distance without the risk of taking a serious buckshot to the face. If you're more of a vehicle NG, the MP7 functions as more of a personal defense weapon for the larger based vehicle maps, such as Omen, Dalian, Karkand, and Dragon Valley. So if someone tries to jack your ride, just jack his face up with this weapon. Of course, playing on any one of those maps without a vehicle and being an engineer with the MP7, you're kinda left dead in the water, because you may find it a bit difficult to close in on the enemy on these larger maps because of more open areas they have and are usually far and few in between for good cover. If you decide to play as a lone wolf with the base MP7, move from cover to cover that would force or lead your enemies into close quarters combat so you always come out with the upper hand. The best playstyle is more of a defensive role in protecting flags. If your team has the majority of the flags, the common and frantic offensive push the enemies will attempt will be rendered useless and in vain with someone using a good spot to post up at and the MP7. The overall design and in-game render of the MP7 seems to be on par and takes up little of your screen when using it for hipfire shots. but when you use your iron sight, the gun does seem to be a little wide, which seems to be a bit awkward. Also, the iron sight for the MP7 is a little thick, and does seem a little difficult to pull off precision shots from medium range, and especially long range for just your first initial shot. When jumping and firing the MP7, make sure you do it aiming down sight and with the enemy as close as possible to you. However, if you get the element of surprise and are coming around a corner, it's best to do a jump, crouch, and start firing while aimed down sight. Statistically speaking, the MP7 does seem to be an average overall SMG for your engineer class. The MP7 is excellent in close quarters combat scenarios, so much in fact that it can even rival the shotguns at times, just because of its exceptional close range damage combined with its rate of fire. The MP7 can be unlocked at level 12 for purchase with credits or battle funds. If you pay close attention in the video, you'll also notice that the MP7's animation for zooming in and out also seems to be a little bit glitched, because the back end or the butt of the gun seems to go into your line of sight and you kind of see through the gun a little bit. So for those of you that have noticed that, awesome, but for those of you that haven't, that's just a little did you know. I would also assume by pointing this out in the video that the developers hopefully would fix it. Even though it's not a big detrimental issue, it's still an issue nonetheless. Alrighty guys, that's all I got for the MP7, well at least the base gun anyways. Of course, before I end the video or go, I do have one thing I would like to say about reaching 5,000 subscribers. I know I did say that I would pick a random winner for a free copy of Killing Floor, which will actually be announced here pretty soon, so just look forward to that on my website. For those of you that don't know about my website, it is actually Shodredux.net, and the winner will be announced on there pretty soon, so just keep checking it out for the next couple days. Also, for those of you interested in getting a shout out in the second edition commentaries that I'm making, all you have to do is just send me a message on Battlefield Play4Free, a PM message, or just send me a personal message on YouTube saying, hey, I want to be shout out in one of your videos, and you can even specify which gun or go from there. Also, I will be having a little mini-series called Quirky Clips that'll be coming out and premiering pretty soon. That's just little video game clips that I have from different games, including Battlefield Play4Free, where just things that happen that don't normally happen do. And it's just interesting to see them happen and how they respond in game, and it's usually a humorous segment. So, with that being said, I hope you check those out too, and I'll see you guys next time.